Hi, this is Holly with Presence Point, and I am here with another Shepherds in Action video. Hopefully you've been watching the series, and I'm with my friend Kate. And Kate and I met a few years ago and have had the chance to work together at church things and kids things and even HR type things, right? All sorts of crazy things over the years. And I am in the Central Valley today in California, and I went, I need to talk to Kate. So she's agreed to answer those same three questions that we always ask. And the first one is, where do you shepherd?
I shepherd in my church. I am a campus director for our church, so I have babies through 5th graders, and there's about 200 kids that parts of families that I serve on Sunday mornings.
Wow.
I also have 3 children of my own, and I am a pastor's wife, so I shepherd in many different ways.
Yeah, you do. So how do you demonstrate provision, protection, and presence when you're leading with these folks?
Okay, well, protection is a very easy one because our mission statement for our ministry is to tell kids about Jesus in a safe and secure environment. So we are constantly trying to do that, to create that provision, that protection over these kids. And then tell me the third one.
Presence.
Presence. So presence is a really, that's a hard one because I, like I said, have to be in a lot of different places, and I have to wear a lot of different hats at the same time.
Including 2 church locations, right?
Yes, including 2 church locations, because on Sunday mornings I'm at one location, but during the week I serve our other campus as well. So I think just making sure that wherever I'm at, that I am being sensitive to the people that God wants me to meet and interact with, constantly just being aware of who I'm serving that day, who I'm talking to, who I'm ministering to, who I'm helping, and that includes my own kids. Sometimes I have to remind myself to be present in my children's life as well.
I was going to ask you, so how do you do that? All this responsibility during the day,
yes,
plus a pastor's wife, which never turns off,
no,
right? And that's kind of new.
Yeah,
right?
that is new,
That's
very new for me.
Okay, and so now you go home, and there's these 3 little precious ones. Tell me how you put down the cell and stay fully engaged.
So one really great way that I have discovered to stay engaged with my children is when I get home from work, I really try to take the time to make dinner for them. So sometimes when I had a stressful day, I will just take that 30 minutes to make dinner by myself. Sometimes it helps me put a break between ministry and family. Sometimes I've had a really easy day, and those are usually days. Most of the time those are my days. I don't have bad days every day. But on those days, I actually will invite one, both, or even 3 kids. I have a 5-year-old, and sometimes that can get a little crazy when he helps with dinner. But I will invite them to come and take part in making dinner with me. It helps me change my perspective. It helps me shift into that mom mode, and it also helps give me a buffer between work and family. The other last thing I would say my husband and I are really intentional about is every morning when school's in session, we read the Bible with our kids. So we read the Bible, we talk about it, we have breakfast together, because that is the time that we found is most uninterrupted, is that 7:15 to 7:45 window with them. So we really try to take time to pour into our children's intentionally at that point in time.
So I have to ask the question, because somebody out there is thinking, what about summers?
What about summers?
So when school's not in session, how do you balance that around dinner? Do you say, Lord, just put yourself on these children? What do you do?
Well, okay, so the beauty is my husband and I don't always have to be in the office until 8:30 or 9 o'clock. So in the summertime, we have a little bit more time in the mornings with them. They go to family, they go to childcare, and so before we kind of all go do our things, then we try to still take that time for them. If we can't, summertime's a really great time for us to, my daughter, okay, I'm not going to name names, but I have a little bit of an addiction to coffee, and I'm not going to advertise what coffee. We're not going to advertise. We're not going to, but I love coffee. my daughter doesn't love coffee, but she loves to hang out with mommy. So
okay.
a lot of times on Fridays and Saturdays when I'm not working, I will take her with me. We'll grab if I'm going grocery shopping, we'll grab a cup of coffee. She'll get a shake or a fruit shake or something, and then we'll go and run errands. Like this last Saturday, her and I had to get the car smugged, and I had to get groceries, and we had to get school stuff because school's starting.
Yeah.
And she hung out with me for about 8 hours, and we just shopped and did all my chores and stuff. And my husband at the same time, he was doing stuff at the house, and our oldest son. He's going into 6th grade, and that's a hard age to connect with. And so they have found some ways to get him kind of connected to, and we try to be really intentional, not just family time, but one-on-one time. So we try to, it sounds funny to say, but we date our kids. Like we will take we are intentional every week. Maybe not every single kid will get time every week, but every week my husband and I are intentional to spend alone time with one of our children. Awesome. Just to try to pour into them, because my husband and I are very busy. We have made a lot of commitments. God's placed a lot of, he's placed a huge call on my husband and I's heart to reach and teach this next generation for Christ. And to make disciples who make disciples. And part of that for me is my kids. And so I have the blessing of having my kids with me when I'm doing ministry. But I also don't want to ignore the fact that they are my first ministry besides my husband.
Right. So we try to make this real life. Shepard's doing real life stuff.
Okay.
And she's totally, obviously, doing real life here, right?
Yeah,
and my last question is always, what word of encouragement do you have? And I still want to ask it,
okay.
but I want to say first, that alone is encouraging.
Okay.
Because there are moms and dads who watch this of little kids, and there are grandmas and grandpas who watch this of little kids, and that's an encouragement to remember that it can be just a quick cup of coffee or a fruit drink or doing something at home together. It doesn't have to be a big outing or a trip.
Right.
So the word of encouragement beyond that you'd give Shepherd leaders as well.
I would say this. So for me, every morning before my feet get out of bed, I pray. I say, Lord, you know the tasks that you have for me to do today. Give me the strength and the endurance to complete those. And then at night, I say, I really do think, it's not that it's this huge spiritual prayer, but my heart is at night, when it's time to rest. So I just pray, Lord, give me enough strength to do all the things that you need me to do today. And Lord, when it's time to stop, help me know to rest. And I really do. I try. Sometimes I fail. I am not always good at it, but I really do try to find those moments of rest, and rest for myself, resting in the Word. Sometimes it's resting with my husband. My husband and I, last night, we were exhausted. The kids went to bed at 8:30, and I could have fallen asleep right there. But I said, no, we haven't had a lot of time together, the two of us. Summer's crazy for both of us because we're in student ministries. And we just said, you know what, we're going to just watch a movie. So we picked some hilarious comedy, and we just laid in bed. We each had our snacks, and we just laid there and watched the movie together and laughed and just enjoyed time together. Yeah. And so sometimes it's resting because your body's tired, but sometimes it's just taking a break and remembering who your first ministry is to. And for me, I serve God first. I serve my husband second, I serve my kids third, and with whatever else time and energy I have, I serve my church and whatever else God has called me to do. So I would just that's a lot of encouragement, but keep your priorities straight.
Well, I hear intentionality too. So,
yes.
So
you know purpose, that's one of my favorite words.
Yeah, it is. That's right. I forgot that. So doing these things on purpose is super important.
Exactly. So, intentional.
I thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
And you all now know why I asked Kate to do this interview. So let me just kind of try to put a bow on this package. I don't even know how to do that.
You might have to watch it like a couple times.
Yeah, to get it all. But let me just say thank you to you.
You're welcome.
And I hope this encourages you. So just continue doing what you're doing, live into your calling, and thanks so much for joining us.